Smiths Falls, how you doing? I really want to know. You can't tell me here, so come tell me somewhere else. There's so many places you can come tell me. Well, right now there's two. There's Facebook, and there is Instagram. That's our social media. We haven't gone anywhere else yet. We're still weighing our options. I'm going to let them compete for me. How about that? But for now, we're on Facebook and we're on Instagram. You can come to our website to listen to our podcasts, of course. And you can also find us on Google, on Spotify, and on iTunes. Of course, if you're listening to this right now, I feel like you've already picked one of those paths. So bounce out to our social media if you haven't. And if you've gone to one but not the other, then go do both. You're not on Instagram? Don't worry. It's easy to set up an account. Set up an account on Instagram or Facebook if you don't have it, and then follow us. You don't need to follow anybody else, just us. We'll give you the goods, I promise. So, I'm feeling pretty good. The weather's been good. I went out to a concert yesterday. I went out to two concerts yesterday. Two concerts in one day. I went to some music by the basin, down by the water. I lay on the grass and let the sounds of bluegrass wash over me. Well, the feeling of green grass lay beneath me. It was glorious, folks. Hung out with friends. I hope it's over. I hope it's ending. Don't you? I'm feeling good, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hopeful. I'm optimistic. Anyway, you know who I saw at that concert? I saw my friend Jordan. That was the second time I had seen him in 2 days because the night before, he came here to record a podcast with me. And I've known Jordan for a little while now. We moved to town around the same time. He beat me here by a little bit. We've got some synergy, him and I think. We come from similar paths. We both really once loved, still do, but somewhat in our past, really extra loved heavy metal. The really heavy kind, the screamy stuff, folks. Yep, I did it. You hear that gravel in my voice? I came by it honestly through tearing up my own vocal cords with heavy metal. And Jordan was a guitar player, and he's still a guitar player, but he switched from his electric, metalified guitar to what is known as fingerstyle acoustic guitar. But it's some great stuff. He does a project called Elmsley, where he does that nice relaxing, it's instrumental, melodic fingerstyle guitar music. I really like it. I put it on when I'm working. It's the kind of thing you can put on and just sort of listen to when you need to get something done. In a relaxing way, I think. Anyway, this podcast isn't just about me talking. This is about me talking with other people. So, my guest this episode is Jordan Hawn. Jordan is a Smiths Falls resident, a Smiths Falls community contributor, a marketing professional, and a musician. And I'm very happy to have him on the show today. But right before we get to our talk with Jordan, I would like to highlight this episode's sponsors. Sponsor number 1, back again, episode 4 to episode 5, Bowie's. Have you been to Bowie's yet? Have you gone down to Bowie's? If you haven't, you should. And if you have, you should go again. I was there last night. I mentioned 2 concerts that I went to. That was the second one. I went and saw this Dallas Alexander show. It was great. Country music. Friday nights, folks. Friday nights at Bowie's is new music night. We're not talking cover bands here. There's a time and a place for everything. But when you are in the mood to see some original music where people go for the show, it's not background music, folks. You go to watch the show. And it's a great time. 2 sets of music, Friday nights, every Friday. We're back. It's back, folks. Live music. Live music is back. And Bowie's is your best place in town to go see that. But they've got a lot more going on than that. A lot more music, in fact. Saturday nights is jazz night with the Beach Whalers. Sunday, they're doing some yoga, bend and brew with Jared. And then Monday and Tuesday, they're closed. Everybody needs some days of rest. Wednesday starts back up with trivia. Thursday is the open stage, and then we're back to Friday for more new music every week. Just like the concert I went to see this Friday with Dallas Alexander, and he was being accompanied by Mr. Rob McLaren. Little tie into our next sponsor of Smiths Falls Music. Rob is one of the teachers at Smiths Falls Music. Mr. Rob, I Can Play Everything McLaren. He was joining Dallas on the lap steel and fiddle last night, but Rob plays bass. He plays piano, he sings, he's a wicked guitar player, a banjo player, a ukulele player, and he teaches most of those instruments over at Smiths Falls Music. There's some other fiddle teachers, there's some other piano teachers, voice teachers. They're doing group classes, baby jams, toddler jams, piano pals, banjo fun time, group fiddling lessons. I really like the approach we've got going over here at Smiths Falls Music. Did I mention it's right beside me in the Arts Hub? Registration is happening now, folks, at Smiths Falls Music for the fall term of lessons. And you got to call now because from what I hear, spots are running out. You got a kid who wants to learn how to play the drums? Guess what? I can teach them. I'm a teacher at Smiths Falls Music. How about that? Music is great for the mind. It's great for the brain. It's great for the soul. And whether you've got children and you want to get them learning, or whether you've just always wanted to pick up an instrument yourself, or maybe you used to and you let go of it for a while and you want to get it back, come on down. Go to smithsfallsmusic.com. You'll find everything you need there. Info on registering, info on classes. It is happening, folks. Music. See how this synergy works? Because you can take your skills that you learn at Smiths Falls Music and you can take them over to Thursday night's open stage at Bowie's and practice there. Start here, go there. Everybody's going to clap. Everybody's going to love it. Fun time. Nothing brings people together like music. SmithsFallsMusic.com. Sign up and get edumacated. That's it for sponsor talk, folks. Into my talk with Mr. Jordan Hawn. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you.
I normally say welcome to the studio, but you've been here. Well, you've been here before.
Lots of times.
Lots of times. You take lessons on that piano.
That I do.
Right?
Yeah, I've been slacking. I'll be honest. Went on vacation, and I need to get back at it. But that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happens.
You're coming. You came to any lessons over the summer.
I did.
By music school students here. That's not slacking. That's like extra credit shit right there.
There you go.
Right?
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Most of the students they follow the school year, right?
Yeah, true. Okay.
They spend the summer at the cottage, like I have been, running back in town for gigs and podcasts. I got here like 20 minutes before from my cottage and raced in and set up some microphones.
Nice. That's amazing. Yeah, I thought I was going to be late too. I was at a buddy. He lives out in Carp. He's got a good piece of land. He's got crown land behind him.
Nice.
There's like a big quarry out there, so we always go and like tour around. Brought the bow out, just did some target shooting. So that was, good. Extremely hot out today. I don't know if you knew that.
Warm couple days.
Yeah. So I was sweating profusely, but other than that, it's a good time.
My cousin lives in Carp.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I know me and Jose looked at that at the same time we were looking at buying in Smith Falls. We were also looking around that area. Yeah. Very pricey though, because I feel like all the Canada tech, executives, big owners, big business owners move out there and
to spread out a bit.
Oh yeah. But then, it's a really nice spot. The brewery's there is great too. I was there a couple weeks ago.
Which brewery is that? Just
Ridge Rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't been to that one yet.
Yeah. It's good. Definitely recommend it. Calvin DeHaan, he's a former NHL player, he still plays, sorry. He's one of the co-owners, so he's from the area. Okay. A couple other guys with him. But yeah, it's really nice. Good setup, really good patio, and they always have music going on too back there.
Mm-hmm. So what year did you actually move? I don't think I've ever learned this. When did you get you live right around the corner from me.
That I do.
For the listeners who do not know, Jordan is, actually, we haven't even told the listeners who the hell you are. It's a little trickier with you because you do so many things. All my other guests so far have been like Amy from Say2, Pat from Bowie's, and you're certainly a business person in your own right, although perhaps less easily labeled.
A bit all over the place.
Well, I keep learning new things that you're doing. You're working on music shows. You got music projects. You Rito Roundtable. That was news to me. I still don't even know what that's about. I didn't even know that was an organization until you mentioned it, and I Googled it.
Yeah, it's they've been around for a while. Peter O runs it with a whole bunch of great volunteers. I got into it because I used to volunteer for the Canadian Parks and Wilderness Society when I was in Ottawa.
Okay.
They're national. They've got different setups in each province. And then moved here, and I was just looking for something to, environmentally, like, what could I do to just, like, help out a bit?
So we got Rito Roundtable.
Yeah.
I know you used to work at Tweed for a while.
Yep.
What's your elevator pitch? How can you sum up Jordan?
Yeah.
Jordan Hawn. I almost called you Jordan Elmsley because that's how I have you in my phone. So I have to remind myself that that's not your last name.
That's funny.
Jordan Hawn, though. Who's Jordan Hawn? Who's in 2 minutes or less
2
or
minutes?
more? Take your fucking time. There's no, like I said, there's no rules. Take as much time as you want. But if you had to sum it up for people listening, we'll get into the details. We got all the time we need.
For sure.
What do you do? Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah.
When'd you get here?
Got here. Well, I guess it's been 3 years now. We love it here. It's been great. And, for me, I work, I was all over the place for my own career. I guess that's where you first start. But I did work at Tweed for about 10 months at the visitor center as a marketing manager there. And they decided to lay off a significant amount of people over COVID.
I heard.
Myself included. Mm-hmm. Not a great experience, but it happens. Off for a couple months, throughout the first wave of COVID. And then I got a new job as a brand and marketing manager for a real estate developer in Ottawa.
Cool.
So, yeah, over my career, it's been very sales, marketing, focused in a variety of different industries. I worked in insurance for about 8 years. And then I worked for the Ottawa Senators in a sales role there, which was pretty interesting. That led me to some more marketing companies, to Tweed, to where I am now. So, been all over the place. Definitely not a career path that's been, one thing and you continue on for 15 years. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
But I think that's just taught me a lot over the years. And I'm now applying it to just some freelance work, doing some stuff on my own, trying to make some extra cash. Aside from that, like you said, been in the Arts Hub a ton. I am a musician. And like you had mentioned, I have a project called Elmsley. Just me and my buddy Andrew playing some acoustic and some bass and jamming out. We've been doing that for 2 years. We got some stuff coming out in the fall, which we're excited about. I've been playing guitar since I was 16. I was actually in the metal scene, and that's why I recognized you with Fuck the Facts. Because I played metal for 8 years in the Ottawa metal scene. So that was great, and I had lots of good experience, met lots of great people there. And took a bit of a break off. I still wanted to do something. I know a lot of friends, you may have experienced a similar thing where you've got a good run with a band, and then once that's done, it's just like, see ya. Like I'm not going to play any more music. I'm not going to do anything else. So I didn't want to do that. And that's sort of where Elmsley came. And I just, me and Andrew have known each other for years. He's got a really cool funk rock band out of Ottawa. And so, we just started jamming. We just go over, have some beers, hang out, whatever. And, it's been good. And other than that, got a dog named Luna, got family nearby. My sisters are in Ottawa. Parents are in Westport. That's sort of what brought us out here originally, going to my parents' place on the weekends. They've got a nice, about 50 acres out just outside of Westport. So
awesome.
We go out there and hang out, and the only way to get there is coming through Smith Falls. You start to get it. And obviously I'd heard things too about Tweed and how things were developing there. And that really interested me. So I know when we moved here, my goal was to actually work there. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't have a job there yet when we moved here, but I was like, okay, well, I'll work on it. And eventually did. And unfortunately, like I said, it was short-lived, about 10 months before they did that. And it's too bad the visitor center still hasn't opened as far as I know. It's a really cool spot if anyone hasn't been there already. But you get a tour and see the old chocolate factory. As you go around, you get to see the actual grow rooms, all the plants. Mm-hmm. You've got the chocolate making facility like dead center, so you can actually see the chocolate bars come down the line, just like if it was Hershey, but obviously some added elements in there. But
Hummingbird now, right?
Yeah, so it's all Hummingbird chocolate out of Elmont, all infused. There's a couple different bars that they have out there. So yeah, it was a great spot to work, and worked with some great people. But these things happen.
Yeah. So you said 3 years. That it's 2021 now. So like summer 2018. Is that when you got here?
Literally, we moved. I want to say Canada Day or the day after. But yeah, beginning of July we moved, and yeah.
And was that right in to the house you're in now? Or
yes. Yep. We got that spot. We looked around at a few spots. Carleton Place, Perth, the surrounding area. And then we found this house and went to look at it, and we're like, yeah, this is it. This is what we like. And we made an offer right after it. So yeah, it's been a great spot. It's also hilarious to me, the amount of people I've met that know right away where I live. I think it's just because I'm on the corner there.
Pretty easily identifiable spot.
Yeah, so I'm right there. And then there's been several people that I've met that have been like, I'll be telling them about the house if we're doing like a renovation or something. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, no, I've been in there. I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
So, there's been some, I guess, younger people that lived there before. And, there's just all sorts of people that I've met along the way that have actually been in my house. That
especially when it's just been up on the market. And people have been going through to look at it, sometimes because they're interested or sometimes just because they're curious.
Oh, yeah.
That came up last podcast when I was talking to Ted and Marion Outerbridge. And they got the Keyhole house, and everybody they meet has been through their house because it's a pretty iconic house in town, I think. And it was up on the market for a little while. I certainly went through it and looked at it.
Nice.
Never went through your house, though. You were already in there by the time we were looking at houses.
Oh, really?
You beat us here by a few months.
Okay.
We bought our house in October 2018. So
right.
Just a few months behind you. And then we moved in first thing January 2019.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. A good old winter move. That must have been fun.
Oh, my move was a big move. It was a big one because we actually bought a house, thought we bought a house over on Kensington. On the other side of, not the other side of town, but the other side of the main street, at least. We put an offer in, it got accepted. This was like early October, and we raced home to Kitchener where we were living, put our house on the market. It sold in 2 days, no conditions, 3 weeks to close. And we thought we were going to get this new house in Smiths Falls, November 1, pull the Band-Aid off real quick.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, we got the building inspection back for the house we thought we bought. Oh. And it was bad. Like you name it, it had it. Galvanized steel plumbing, knob and tube wiring, asbestos here and there. It just turned out to be, we knew it was a place that needed some work.
Yeah, for sure.
We didn't realize it was like a gut job. And we didn't want to put our kids through that. So we raced to find another house. And we didn't even see our house. I sent my parents because I was back down in Kitchener.
Right. Trying to go through the sale.
Yeah. And I sent my parents to look at the house I'm in now. And my mom gave it the thumbs up, and she's a little pickier about real estate than I am. So I trusted her, and it was good. Yeah.
Nice. So there you go. That's crazy.
It was a longer closing date. We couldn't get it. They had renters in there, and they had to give them, the owners had to give them 60 days to vacate. And that meant beginning of January for us. So we were in limbo for a couple months.
Right.
And lived in a rental house in Kitchener for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Then came home for Christmas, lived with my parents for like 3 weeks until our house was ready, and then moved in. And there was like multiple trucks and storage spaces, some down in Kitchener, some up here. It was quite a thing.
Sounds stressful.
Yeah. Well, our logic was we're not doing this again.
Yeah.
That's how we got through it. We're not doing this again. This is where we live.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it.
Yeah, and I mean, we had had a bit of a habit of like selling our house in a town once the market heated up in that town and going to another town where a market hadn't heated up, and that worked well for us for like 3 cities in a row. And then we got to Smiths Falls. We're like, well, there's nowhere else left to go now. Because as much as prices may have gone up in town here, they're pretty much still the lowest around. Unless you want to go up to Wawa or maybe Sault Ste. Marie or something. Like, it's...
where there's not much.
It's the cheapest place around. That it is at least still a town and has amenities and is close to anything.
Yeah, exactly. You know, very central. That's what. That's what I liked about it too. Like, it's about 45 to get into Canada, but like, it's really not that big a deal. Once we moved out here, I knew I was just like, all right, we're gonna have to drive. Like, we're gonna have to drive to see friends. We're gonna have to drive if we want to go in the city, whatever. And then once you just get there, it's like, okay, that's fine. Other people I know that have moved certain places, and they decide that I'm going to stay within my region, and not drive around too much. So, but then also just people get busy in general. If you're trying to, as an example, I've got lots of friends in Ottawa. I've got friends where I grew up in Iroquois. It's still over an hour away. Still trying to do that is a challenge, but yeah, it's still very central. Still lots of stuff to do, and lots of good people here that we've met. So we're always busy.
Yeah, we've definitely met a lot of good people here. I feel like we keep meeting new ones. We're meeting a lot of people who have moved here.
Yeah,
I mean, Nate was one of them.
Right.
What I like about Nate's story is that our joint neighbors and friends, Rob and Rosalind, like made Nate move here. Nate and Bree.
Oh yeah.
They made the move here. They were just like, you got to come. You just come. They just hounded them for months on end, and they're all right, fine. We'll do it. And they did. And I think more people just need to do that. We just need to peer pressure all the cool kids.
Everybody to come.
There's
here.
already lots of cool kids. Just like join us. Just come. It's already built.
Just come on down.
Just come on down. Just come on down to Smiths Falls. Move here. It's better.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that a bit. A lot of my friends are a bit all over the place. I've got some friends in Kempville too, so that's pretty close. Yeah. But yeah, people in the city, especially with COVID, a lot of people just want to get out, right? So it's like, oh, I know a good spot. Like, lots of water around, lots of nice spots, good restaurants, good pubs, try to get them in there. But slowly but surely. I
tried to convince my sister to move to town. I almost had her. And then she got a really good job in Ottawa, and it was a no-go. It was futile.
Yeah.
At that point, but she was tempted. She admitted. She's like, "You almost had me. I was really, really tempted." Pat just convinced his cousin to move to town.
There you go.
Yeah, she's going to run a new bar in town.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what that's going to be?
When? I'm not sure when. I talked.
Where?
I know where. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's it's not a secret. It's we talked about it. I talked about it with Pat on the podcast. We didn't go deep because it's still a ways out, I think. I'm actually helping them design a logo for it right now. But it's in the post office.
Oh, yes, I have heard. Yeah.
And it's going to be called the post office.
Yep.
Fitting name. Yeah. Yeah, Pat's cousin Jill, who is like a bartender, bar runner extraordinaire. And by bar runner, I don't mean like the person who has to like run the empties to the back, not that kind of bar runner, but like the person who runs a bar,
Gotcha.
Operator, general manager. She's like award winning and stuff. Wow. Yeah, I was just hanging out with her last night.
That's great.
Cool. The post office is going to be like high end, businessy, fancy cocktails and whiskey. It's in the base. I haven't seen it yet. Pat's supposed to give me a tour. He's like 2 weeks late on giving me a tour, but I'm looking forward to that place. Right beside Bowie's. Don't have to go far.
Yeah, it's and the building is just very, very nice. I know I've tried to look in several times and just see what's going on. But yeah, I definitely want to go check that out. Go see what it is. I honestly don't remember what it looked like before. I think when I moved here, they were starting to do it. I don't know. I can't remember, but they did a great job with it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that very much. I think it's going to be like October, November. That's nice. what they're shooting for. They're still working through renos and applications and liquor licenses and so. I think they have to be done the reno before they can apply for the liquor license. So it's just sort of putting one foot in front of the other for that whole process.
Nice.
So cool. Houses, Smiths Falls. You grew up in Iroquois. Now you're here. And like you said, you're getting involved, right? You're doing some community initiatives.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Rito Roundtable? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, pretty cool nonprofit. They help essentially maintain the waterways in the surrounding area. Mm-hmm. So a lot of that has to do with, cleanups. So I know Jake from there did a big cleanup. It was in the news a couple months ago. He just went around, Lower Reach Park and the water around there, went through some of the canals areas, and I think he picked up 400 or 500 pounds of garbage or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll bet.
So, that's a key component there. Like you've got fast food stuff, beer cans, whatever that's found in there. That's, it's really frustrating. And then aside from that, it's a lot of educational stuff. They'll do these tours through these Voyager canoe tours. Mm-hmm. And so Voyager are the 25 to 35 foot long canoes, the ones that, the pioneers would be using. And they'd go around and they'll showcase, go to the swale, and then you start picking out the animals and the creatures, the birds, the environment there, and you start discussing it and telling the people that are there. And then aside from that, they also run Paddle Fest, which has been around for years. Mm-hmm. And sounds like they're trying to get that going again for September as well.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. I was on a meeting there earlier this week. They were talking a bit about it, trying to get some things going. They're still accepting teams. I'm looking to put a team together, just get some people out there, have some fun, and then there'll be some vendors and music and drinks and good food. So, they do a lot of good just to really maintain the surrounding area and all the waters there, because, Smith Falls, one of the main attractions is the canal. You get so many tourists that come through there. I go through the park on a regular basis in Centennial Park. All the boats you're seeing, Quebec City, Montreal, people are coming from all over to go through these canals, and we really got to, maintain them, keep them clean, and also ensure that the environment thrives there and the habitat thrives there. So they're doing lots of good work, and I've just been trying to help out where I can, mostly from like a marketing, web design, just sort of business side of things to help them, just get awareness out of what they're doing, reach new people. Like you said, there's a ton of new people coming to town, and hopefully some people want to, get involved and join and help out with that kind of stuff. So that's sort of a bit of it in a nutshell, I guess. But they're doing some good work.
That's awesome. I have a friend in Guelph where I lived for a good 12 years. And Guelph is in some ways a lot like Smiths Falls. It's got a river right through the middle of it, and lots of green space around that river. And my friend Brian, he goes out in his kayak all the time, like once, twice a week down the Speed River in Guelph, and he just picks out garbage.
Yeah.
Just picks out garbage, and he takes a picture of it every time. This big haul. He calls it river loot. And he takes pictures of it just so people know, just as like awareness of like,
absolutely,
another trip, another pile of garbage, folks. So he's cleaning up, but he's also spreading some awareness by rubbing it in everybody's noses.
Well, you got to do that though, because people don't you don't clue in. Like your stuff's going somewhere when you're throwing it around, and there's a lot of issues with just the single-use plastic and how things are just so disposable in our society, right? So
totally.
It's these things go somewhere, and they're going right in the rivers right by your house. So it's I think there needs to be more focus on that, and hopefully the town can help support some of these causes and continue to do that, because I kayak a lot too. I'll go out in the swale, go to Lower Reach especially. There's a ton of garbage along the shorelines there. I've definitely picked up garbage, but there's been a few times I've gone to attempt to reach and grab something out of the water, and I'm just doing like a back and forth. I'm about to tip essentially, so I'm like, okay, I have to be smart.
Those kayaks get pretty tippy.
Oh yeah, mine's, and I don't have like a high end one by any means.
You got your own though.
Yeah. This summer has been where I've done the most. I've been doing it for a couple years. Going to my parents out on Westport, Big Rideau Lake. It's super nice out there. But around here, it's really nice through the canals, and especially in the swale. I'll go back there. I'll tour around. Yeah, there's lots to see, and but there's been a ton of garbage, unfortunately.
Yeah, I believe it. I haven't done any kayaking here yet, but I've done some stand-up paddleboarding.
Oh yeah,
and I've done a bit of canoeing. I've used the rentals
that
Bill's got going with Smiths Falls Pedal.
I see him. Yeah, every time I go out, he's always sitting out there.
Yeah. Important to keep clean for sure. And I've been hearing about Paddle Fest too. Campbell, right? Yeah, I think Campbell's helping putting that together this year. In fact, I saw Campbell at the Vinta concert.
Oh, nice.
I mentioned to him that you were going to be on the podcast tonight. And he said, "Oh, I just had a meeting with Jordan last night." I hadn't put the two together, that Rideau Paddle Fest and Rideau Roundtable were kind of the same. The same ball of cheese.
Yeah. I haven't. I think that was the first time I had, I guess, virtually met Campbell. I swear I've seen him play before, but I just haven't really had a discussion with him. But yeah, him and Lee. I apologize, I don't know her last name, but they're looking to coordinate the Paddle Fest, and so I don't think I've been to one since I've been here. Well, with COVID, there's 2 years gone out of the 3 you've been here, right? So I'm looking forward to it. I think that's going to happen in September at Lower Reach.
The 18th, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I should know, but I don't.
Whichever is a Saturday, which I'm 90% sure is the 18th, September 18th. Yeah. I've been talking to Campbell a little bit about that. I'm going to be offering a little bit of my help as well.
Nice, that's sweet. Get some drones out, or?
Well, it's going to be photography related,
right?
Yeah, I won't drop the ball yet because the plans are still being finalized.
Okay,
but I think that maybe the podcast is going to be involved. Myself and perhaps the podcast is going to be involved to a certain extent. He's I'm going to have him out too. I had actually not to make you feel like a second choice, Jordan, but I had actually asked Campbell to come out. Prior to asking you. That's why you came up in conversation.
Gotcha.
Full circle.
There you go.
Full circle. Yeah. Because he was like, "Did you find anybody to do the podcast?" Like, "Yeah, Jordan's going to do it." He's like, "That's great. I just met with Jordan last night."
Nice.
Yeah. That's how that happened.
There you go. Yeah, that's the good thing about small towns, though. There's connections everywhere, right?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I go to a backyard concert. I don't know who's going, but I wind up knowing half the people there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I run into Campbell and we talk about you, and then you're on the podcast and the people we talk about, I know most of them, and the ones that come up that I don't know, I just sort of put them on the list, a little mental checklist. Got to meet that person.
Yeah,
got to meet that person. So you've got. Let's hear some more about your music. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. You gave like the quick pitch, but big shift. You used to be a metal guy.
Yeah,
I was a metal guy too. So I understand the shift because I've made some of my own shifts. I write folky tunes now. I haven't done any recording of my own stuff. I get other people to record the songs I write. Campbell sang a song that I wrote.
Oh, the Bowie song? Yeah, it was catchy.
Yeah, that actually, there's a whole second half to that song. We've got it recorded. We're gonna.
Oh, cool.
We'll release it to the airwaves once it's all ready.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, that version was the 1 minute long like TV show intro cut.
Yeah.
But your music,
Elmsley,
it's not metal.
It is not. No.
Although from my perspective, I can see the metal influence.
Yeah, on some of the technical,
techier, mathier kind of.
For sure. Yeah. And I guess that's sort of where it translated. Because I by no means can sing. I am not a singer. I'm a guitar player, and that's what I stick with.
Yeah.
That's where it sort of came out of just like, well, band's done. I was in that band. I started it when I was 16.
Yeah.
with buddies from high school. Lots of changes over the years in terms of who was playing in it, but
and that band was.
So I've had a few, I guess, but there's name changes and so on. So I started off the band. I was called Sleep is for the Dead when we were 16 years old.
Yeah.
Very much that emo, screamo type phase.
Yeah.
We did that for, I guess, 4 or 5 years. Then I got into college. And then we decided there was a couple member changes there. So it was just me and the drummer that were the original guys. We decided to change the name to Abraxas, which has some meaning in Greek mythology, sort of the battle of, you've got the good and evil side of things. So there's a bit of story there. And then that was for a couple of years. And then, people grow up. It gets tougher and tougher to play and to have people fully committed. Yeah, it just wasn't, we had lots of stuff ready to go, and then it just sort of phased out, which is unfortunate. And then from there, I was like, well, it's not like I'm just going to stop playing music, and that happened to a few people that I've seen, not specifically in my band, but in other bands. And I was like, I don't want to be like that, but at that time, was I going to go out and played, big shows as a heavy metal band? Probably not. So, let's take a look at something else. And so I remember I've always played acoustic. I was a big fan of like Dallas Green, City and Color from Alexis on Fire. I always listened to his stuff. That was one of the ones that I was always consistently from an acoustic standpoint. And then I came across a guy named Andy McKee.
I know him.
Yeah, and specifically Candy Rat Records, which has, if you're a guitar fan, I highly recommend to just look them up and look at all the artists they have in there. Very talented guys. But I remember listening to one of his songs, and this was quite a few years ago, but it just blew my mind at what he was doing. It was so unique. He had, as one guitar player, he's got a strong rhythm using the percussion on the guitar, more as like a drum, and he's got the bass lines because he's down to different tunings. And then he uses, he's either tapping or slapping on the guitar and just having these layers as a solo guitar player. And I just, I remember the first song, I was like, I couldn't believe that someone could play like that. So I really started to dive into that style after that. And I've been slowly trying to work my way up to, be able to perform something similar. And that's where it's very much, it's instrumental, but I try to do it in the sense where it has some sort of, I'm not playing the same thing for, 2 minutes straight. I'm sort of all over the place, which it has its benefits, but also has its cons in terms of some, being catchier or being consistent that people remember it, or having somebody sing along to it. That's been the one thing that I've noticed is, I've got a whole bunch of material. It's a bit more technical. So getting people, I've got lots of friends that can sing well, getting them to do guest vocals on a track, as an example, they sort of have to pick and choose what spots they want to do. Yeah. And then they don't also maybe not put lyrics to it, but just sort of harmonize over top of certain parts. Yeah. So that's, bit about that. But it's, like you said, I took that metal influence and took that to an acoustic guitar. Yeah. Changed the tunings on it and started getting involved with the percussion pieces to try to give it more layers and just more, added volume in there when I do play live. Yeah. Because, if you do go up there alone, singer-songwriter is one thing. You've got the voice, people sort of just think that the guitar is there to accompany it, right? On a lot of those types of artists. But for me, it's like the guitar is the only thing there. Yeah. So I really have to emphasize it, and it has to be really memorable and also really precise in terms of, I can't be missing notes left, right, and center. I've got to be like very precise there.
Yeah, you've got nothing to hide behind, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I screw up, well, that takes a lot out. I remember going the first time to Bowie's, actually playing an open mic. I didn't know anybody. I just showed up and started playing. But I remember being a lot more nervous versus, playing to the 20, 30 people in there versus playing some shows where we had 300-400 people, but you've got 4 guys with you going on that stage. So it was a very different situation. And I didn't expect it because I was like, I've played shows for, the last 10 years or whatever. It's not a big deal. But I was like, oh, this is different, because I remember I mishit a note, and then I was just like, that really takes the air out of it. You know, you've got to keep going and keep, because it's just you. There's nothing really to help you out if you do screw up. And metal's so loud and it's so chaotic that a lot of times you mishit a note, people aren't noticing, you know.
It's just noise within noise.
Yeah, exactly. Or you've got the other guitar and the bass to cover that up, you know. So it's definitely a different experience.
That's definitely one of the things that, you know, reminds me of metal in what you're playing, is that it's like you said, you don't do a lot of necessarily, like, I mean, you'll repeat parts, but you don't, like, within succession to create some rhythm. Yeah, but you don't come back to those parts again. You know, there's not, you know, your hooks generally come by once. You know, I've written like that, particularly in metal, and there's so many metal bands like that. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Starring Janet Leigh?
I want to say yes, but it
just popped into my head because my buddy Zaddy, he's like moved over to like the acoustic world as well, and he used to play in a band like that. And like his metal band is like, they never came back to a riff. It's like done and gone. Yeah, we played it and we've moved on. It's just, you know, it's very very stream of consciousness. Yeah, you know, so it's the kind of thing where, you know, you got to get into it a little more, give it a little more time, and hear the pieces and hear the songs maybe 10 times. And then that's when the parts are coming back, because you remember them from the last time you listened to the song, not from the last time you heard the chorus 30 seconds ago.
Exactly.
You know? But yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, it's been something I've been trying to focus in on, doing the, you know, intro, verse, chorus, verse type of setup, specifically just to layer it a bit easier. So throw on different instruments. And also just to, you know, work with people to have them sing over these songs specifically. Yeah. So it's a bit of a simplification on what I'm doing. But also I feel like, if, you know, a lot of stuff I now listen to is layered, but it starts off with like, you've got a simple beat. Yeah. And then you keep building off that. And then at some point you change. And so that's sort of where I'd like to go to, especially I want to explore like using a loop pedal. Yeah. You know, you've got one riff, let's loop that, then I can do a lead over it. Then if I've got, you know, some piano or whatever, then you can really start doing a really cool atmosphere that way. So that's one thing I want to explore, and just different writing styles, because I think you're right. I've been writing the same way since I was 16. Just different, just slightly different in terms of what kind of gear I'm using, I guess.
Yeah. But you ever heard of Gareth Pearson? He's a fingerstyle guitar player.
Oh yes, I have. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, he's one of the first guys that I really got into that did that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, I started myself playing on acoustic guitar with my fingers, but without all the guitar as a drum kind of stuff, you know. And I, you know, there was sort of crossed over with metal too. Like I learned how to play "Nothing Else Matters" by Metallica. Nice. And, you know, the intro to The Unforgiven, and, you know, fingerstyle stuff. There's a lot of appreciation for that within metal. Whether it's like the intro from "Fight Fire with Fire," by ding 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 ding, or the beginning of "Fade to Black." Metallica loves that fingerstyle.
Yeah, for sure. Stuff. A lot of I find like a lot of the really like Norwegian black metal or death metal bands always have some sort of like eerie sounding acoustic guitar that they then layer over with some weird organs or something, and then it leads up into like you know, big finale or whatever. But you're absolutely right. You know, there's lots of bands that do that. I'm trying to think of some examples specifically, but I think it's, you know, you can just incorporate it in the sense that you've got the chaos in this loud music, and then the bands that I really enjoy are the ones that have a balanced approach and do it both very well. Yeah, which can be quite difficult. The Contortionist is one where they have, like, you know, they're very fast, very quick riffs, but then they release an album of just like their songs but on acoustic version. Oh yeah. And it was just, is, you know, very impressive to see that you can have one song translated into something else completely, and be so melodic and so, you know, beautiful sounding.
Like Apocalyptica. Yeah. Those cello guys who do Metallica songs on the cello. I think they branched out after that. The first album they did was all Metallica songs. Then they branched out and did some other bands too. And some originals as well. Yeah, it translates well. It really does. Metal to acoustic or even classical kind of stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of similarities in writing too. I mean, a lot of most classical stuff, and there's very stream of consciousness, lots of movements.
Yeah,
not necessarily always a lot of coming back to parts. But yeah, it was Gareth Pearson who was like the first opened my world into that whole kind of
that realm
of so many things and layers going on at once, playing a bass line, adding in some tapping and some percussion. And I saw him, I think it was 2009. It was at Ottawa Folk Fest before it came City Folk, when it was still
City Hall
at the old location.
Was that City Hall that they had it be?
No.
I'm thinking the old Blues Fest.
Yeah, old Blues Fest was City Hall. And now they're both fests are now run by the same organization. Mm-hmm. It was more like Britannia. It was like,
oh yeah, was that near Mooney's Bay? Like out that way?
It was at Mooney's Bay for a bit, but I think still as City Folk. It might be there now. Anyway, it used to be in a different spot. It used to be Ottawa Folk Fest. Now it's City Folk. And when it was Ottawa Folk Fest, it was like a stripped down sort of 4-person song circle. And it was Peter Katz, Craig Cardiff, Bahamas, before like anybody knew who Bahamas was, and Gareth Pearson. And Gareth was like the odd man out here because all these other like doing these singer-songwriter stuff and just sort of strumming their acoustic guitars. And then Gareth gets out with his friggin' lightning hands. And Bahamas was making jokes about it. He's like, when they all said like goodbye and who their names was, Bahamas just said, "Thanks everybody. I'm the guy who played after Gareth." And Gareth is, I think, his most sort of like known piece and like viral piece is he does a crazy cover of Billie Jean on the guitar. And he not only does he do the crazy cover, but he does like a full-on Michael Jackson dance routine, including a moonwalk while he's doing the bass line and the percussion and the melody on his guitar all simultaneously. Who else did I see who I really liked with that kind of style? You ever heard of Daniel Champagne?
I don't think so. No.
Look him up. He's mind-blowing. And I saw him in person, and it was down in Kansas at this like folk music conference, not a festival, but a conference. And he was playing in a hotel room. He wears a ring on his finger, I think, so that when he hits with that finger, he can get a different sound because he gets like a metal knocking versus his hand slapping. And he's like, he's great. I'm not going to try and describe his finger style. I can't even beatbox, but he's great. Daniel Champagne. I think he's from he's an Australian guy.
Oh, nice.
Really, really good. Really good. And like, this is me. Like he blew. I'm not going to go and say he's better than Gareth because it's not a contest. But like when I saw Gareth, it blew my mind. And then I saw like Andy McKee. And I was like, oh, he's good too. And then I saw Daniel and I was like, my mind was blown again. Maybe it was just because of the ring. Maybe I don't know. But maybe it's because it was in person too. Like 5 feet from my face in a hotel room. But it was pretty great.
Nice. I'll check him out. Shows like that they're always fun. I used to playing house shows. That was like, not that I could care less for bigger shows, but house shows, is going to be fun. Something fucked up's going to happen, whether that's someone goes through a wall or something stupid is going to happen, specifically in the stuff we were playing. And we went to Kempville one night and we played a show and we were in the guy's living room. And I just remember like they cleared everything out. Everyone was packed in there. And I thought it was going to be like an eviction party, the way they treated that place. And it was like 3 dudes that were like, must have been 19, 20 or whatever. And they just invited us out. We went out there, had a blast and was playing. And I remember like after we played, like everyone went out, had a smoke, had a drink. Our bass player came back with a big screen TV in the back of a trailer, and we're like, like, where did you even go? Like, what just happened?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he had met some guy, met him long enough to talk to him that the guy said, hey, I'm selling a TV. Are you interested? And I guess he goes back to his house and he's like, well, yeah, I've got a couple bucks on me and I've got some shirts and shit like from our band merch, and ends up trading this guy whatever he has, brings back a TV, and I'm pretty sure he still has it. And that was like 7 years ago. Nice.
I loved house shows. I played my fair share of house shows with Fuck the Facts mainly. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of house shows, basement shows. Yeah. Played a really crazy house show out in PEI once. That was a living room one.
Yeah.
As well. Just like all furniture. I think they just put the furniture in their backyard. And yeah, just like PEI kids get bored, I think.
Oh, not much going on. Yeah.
They eat a lot of potatoes. At least they told me they did.
Yeah. Well, that's why I always liked playing the very small towns. Mm-hmm. For that reason. Nothing else is going on.
Yeah.
So you're going to get 100 kids that show up, even if,
half of them aren't wearing shoes.
Or like even like metal. Yeah. It's just like, oh, there's something going on. Like we're going to come out. That happened to us a lot in Quebec, where it's like we don't even know where we are. Like we're in the, like we used to go up to Sherbrooke, Granby, out that way, like northern Quebec, and it was just like
northern.
I'm trying to think of where else we went. It wasn't like super up north, but like
I used to play in a metal band in Rouen.
Okay.
Rouen, Noranda.
I was going to say, where's like Trois-Rivières?
Trois-Rivières is not north. Trois-Rivières is like between Montreal and Quebec City.
Right.
And there's only one real promoter in Trois-Rivières.
Yeah, the ones I'm thinking.
And his name is Jean-François.
Jean-François.
Yeah, which is there's a lot of Jean-François in Quebec and a lot in Trois-Rivières, but only one who's the metal promoter, and he runs the Trois-Rivières Metal Fest.
Oh yeah.
I spent a month on the road with that guy because I was playing in a band that was opening for Neuraxis.
Oh, cool. Yep.
And he was filling in on bass for Neuraxis. We called him Beast. His nickname was Beast. I'm not sure how he earned the nickname, and he doesn't speak a word of English. I think he speaks one word of English. I don't know what it is. I've never heard it, but I've heard stories. So Trois-Rivières was a great spot.
Yep.
Drummondville was a good place.
Yeah.
Quebec and Montreal, of course. Yeah, I played in a band. Even northern Rouen is like up near Timmins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like,
we didn't.
Like hours,
we definitely didn't go that.
Like it's like the Rouen. I always say it's not it's Rouen. English people always say Rouen, but it's actually just Rouen. One syllable, one fell swoop. Rouen. And they love metal up there. We played like an arena. We played an arena, like not like full on arena rock. Like we played in like in the middle of a hockey rink with people on the ground in front of us. But there was like hundreds of people there in this like 10 hours north town, and they had their own like monthly metal print publication. In Rouen. Yeah, it was great because one of the guys from Despised Icon, he's from there.
Oh, okay.
And he was producing this band I was in, and then it was the old singer from Neuraxis was a singer in the band, and then guitar player and bass player from Rouen.
Nice.
Descend into Nothingness. That's actually the most technical metal band I ever played in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to say the stuff you played with Fuck the Facts, like I've seen, and I'm trying to remember how, if it was so long ago, I don't know if you were playing with them when I saw. Mm-hmm. You had said, how long did you play?
I was in the band for about 4 years.
Okay.
From like, I was the first drummer.
Yeah.
And I played with them until about halfway through 2004.
2004. Okay. So, do you know where Targ is?
Yeah. House of Targ.
Yeah. What was it before? What was that venue?
Before Targ, it was Well, before Targ, it was called the Bayou.
Yeah, but then there was something
But
before
the
that.
Bayou, I think it was maybe just called the Underground.
Yeah, I can't remember. I went to quite a few metal shows there, though, back in the day. And I feel like that was my first time I saw Fuck the Facts, because I wasn't even living in Ottawa. Like, I'm driving out from Iroquois for the night with my buddies to go out to a show type thing.
I played there a lot with Fuck the Facts, that's for sure.
Okay, so maybe I have seen you then.
I think it was the Underground.
Yeah.
I think it was the Underground. It's hard to say. There's so many venues that have been called the Underground because they're in a basement.
Yeah.
It's not a very original name. But yeah, I used to play there all the time. And then when it was the Bayou in April of 2008, I was there. That was the first time I ever saw my wife Amber play.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And now it's House of Targ, where they have pinball machines and, from what I hear, really, really good pierogies.
Yeah. I have had those at least once. Yeah, it's a fun spot. They still have some good shows there, though, too. I've been to a few.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been to House of Targ yet. I know all about it, but I haven't been there yet. I used to play bumpers a lot. Used to played Mavericks.
Yeah.
Played Sandy Hill Community Center.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know where that is. I didn't know they had shows on.
Oh, yeah. They used to have, there was like a yearly Halloween show that we would play there. Halloween Hardcore Fest.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
Yeah, I played all around Ottawa. Played with Fuck the Facts, and then played Mavericks when I toured through playing for Exhumed. And then I had a punk hardcore band I played in from Ottawa too, called Experiment in Terror.
Oh, cool.
And I played with them. I stayed with that band for a little longer. We weren't as serious. I kind of, like, in 2004, I moved down to Guelph, so I just kind of had to quit Fuck the Facts. I wasn't available to them anymore.
Yeah.
But I stayed in Experiment in Terror because we only ever played like 2 shows a year anyway. I think the last show I ever played with them was in like 05 or 06. It didn't last that much longer. And it was much more just like, it was like sort of like Raised Fist meets His Hero Is Gone kind of stuff. Just kind of
nice.
D-beat, kind of angry punk with a real sort of political kind of social
lyrically,
justice edge lyrically. But that was a lot of fun. That was probably the funnest band I ever played in, because all I had to do was play really fast punk beats all the time. I threw in some blast beats just for good measure.
Yeah, just for fun.
I couldn't go. I couldn't be hyper blasting all the time like I was in Fuck the Facts.
Yeah, I was actually. I was listening to a band called Textbook Tragedy on the way back from my buddy's place.
Yeah, I know
from
those
BC.
guys.
Yeah.
Their drummer Nick is awesome.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I was just like this guy must be fucking tired, because it's just their album Intimidator, like front to back, it's just like just chaotic. But that's what I was thinking. I was going to ask you. I was like, I've never played drums in my life. I've attempted to maybe twice, done a poor job, and then never went back.
Yeah.
But I remember playing with our drummer Liam, and like he would just be soaked at the end of our sets. So like we played some fast stuff, and he was quite a good drummer, quite technical. But were you not tired? Were you not dead tired?
I would get. Well, I mean, I would definitely get tired. I would get out of breath. I'd always push through the song. Sometimes my arms were burning. Because I pushed myself hard, but I also, like, when I would hit the stage, the adrenaline would start and my meter would be affected. Not in how much I wavered, but in how fast I thought I was playing.
Right.
In that I thought I was playing the songs how fast they were supposed to be. When in actuality, I was playing them probably usually about 20 to 30% faster.
Yeah, live. But you always play. Yeah, you always, in general, people always play faster live.
People tend to.
Yeah.
People tend to. But I've looked back at videos and realized that, like, I was playing at times faster than I knew I had the physical ability to. Like, I couldn't do it at practice. Like, I'd be there with a metronome trying to pull off the 280 beats per minute, and I couldn't do it. And then I'm sitting there at the show and thinking back to the show, like, this is a 210 beat per minute song.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm playing. And then I look at the video and I actually clock it with a metronome and I'm playing up at like 250 beats per minute. So like, where was I at the, like in the songs that were supposed to be 250? I must have been, I don't even know where I was playing those songs. But I was always a struggle. I mean, drumming in metal it's like a sport. It's athletic. I've just set up my drums again for the first time in actually years. I hate to say it, but years. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised, despite being a little older and despite having not played in a long time, I can still do all the stuff.
There you go.
I can still do all the stuff I used to be able to do. I can't do it all for quite as long.
Right.
My endurance has gone down.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I get tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was always trouble. Like, I remember when I first started playing in the first couple of years, I made like a lot of headway because I just played so much and I practiced so much and I researched techniques so much. And I literally trained. Like I had a spreadsheet where I would be like crossing off like times and goals and speeds and amounts, like a workout routine.
Right. Yeah.
And then finding out where I was plateauing and trying to mix it up to break through the plateau and stuff. It was a training regimen.
Yeah. That's a good way to do it.
And, in the first couple of years, I actually like almost blew the tendons out in my arms. I woke up one morning and my arms were like stuck in like an L-shaped position. I couldn't straighten them. I couldn't fully bend them. They were just like stuck. And I had to stop drumming for about 5 or 6 weeks. I just stopped drumming altogether. And then when I got back to it, I used to do like
the
finger technique. It's traditionally known as Gladstone technique. I think that what the buzzword people are calling it these days is flying fingers. And that's how I used to play. Yeah. And it's like the muscles and tendons that you need for that, I kind of fucked up. And to this day, they're still not the same. I had to totally overhaul my technique and learn how to play using wrists instead of fingers.
Oh, right.
Which is harder to hit the same speeds with wrists. But it's in a lot of ways better. You have more control. Right. Because your fingers are doing the job of holding the stick, and then your wrists are doing the job of moving the stick. Whereas with fingers, it's like, number one, you can't do it everywhere. That technique with fingers, you can't do it everywhere. You can only do it on a bouncy surface. Yeah. So on my floor tom that I like to keep nice and like low for that ball sound, I can't do the flying fingers because it's like dribbling a basketball, but in like micro scale and with your fingers. And you can't do it. You can't do it on like side sticking hi-hats, but with wrists, you can power through motor through anything. And it's actually been shown, like the two last world record holders for drum speed, it is measured and it is quantified, and they keep records of who does this shit the fastest. And the two last guys to do it, they use wrists only. They don't use finger technique. They power it out with their wrists. So that's sort of the path that I started after blowing out my finger tendons. Yeah. And I'm still kind of on that journey today. I still use wrist technique instead of fingers.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that the more traditional approach versus the other one?
Yeah, it totally is. Yeah. Yeah. Where everybody's going these days is push-pull technique. There are some kids on YouTube that will blow your freaking mind with the blast beats that they're doing these days. They have brought it to a new level. Not necessarily that much faster than what people could do before, but because of the new techniques they're using, they don't get as tired.
Right, I see.
And they can like there's a video. There's this kid from, I don't know what country he's from, some European country. I think he's German, maybe Swedish, but he blasts at 260 beats per minute for 10 minutes straight. 10 minutes straight, no stopping. Yeah. Just as an endurance exercise. Sitting and like he can hold like 300 beats per minute for like 5 minutes straight. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I don't love it as much because you get a bit of a sort of swing to it. It's like it's accented because they're doing this like open close sort of Buddy Rich technique of manipulating the stick trajectory and bounce. And it's just, I don't know, it's different. It's like the difference between playing a Metallica riff the way it's supposed to be played, like James Hetfield plays it with all downstrokes, or going up and down.
Right.
It sounds just as fast technically to the ear, but it just sounds like walking instead of running. It sounds like there's a back and forth to it, instead of a jackhammer kind of to it.
Yeah, that's the thing with, I guess, I know I haven't played a ton of instruments, but you can always play something differently. So it can be the same. You could have, hit these 4 notes, and you could have, endless different ways of playing that. And because it could be, like you said, whether that's just the technique that you're doing, or whether that's how long you're hitting a note, or whether that's you're accentuating certain parts, you can go through, and it's almost endless. And that's why I really liked guitar, because you just hear so many different versions of a same, a simple part.
Yeah,
well, it's
totally.
it's like the standard like GCE or GCD chords, right? That's on how many songs? It's endless. But obviously people are playing it a different way. That makes it a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But then you get things that just get expanded on, and people play it a different way, even though that's why I really like, and we talked a bit about that Gareth Pearson guy doing his cover. Some of these guys that are doing the instrumental acoustic stuff, they'll take these songs and they'll just apply it in a way that's never been done before. So it's very interesting when you start looking at that. Just same things, but everyone's playing it a different way, and then you've got endless possibilities on how something's going to sound.
Yeah, and that's my favorite thing about any form of music that is really just is relying on players, and not necessarily players who have just learned classically. Because classical playing, and from guitar to drums to singing, it's so rooted on the notion of like, this is the one perfect way to do it.
Right.
We've already decided.
Yeah.
There's no other proper way. Any other way is not good. So don't do it that way. Do it this way. There is a mold of perfection that you are striving towards. And I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, it has its place, and there are reasons for it, I guess. I don't know. It's not my bag. I like the quirks.
Yeah.
I like the quirks people have with their own musicality, particularly within certainly within metal. I always liked the unique styles people had, especially with guitar players.
Oh yeah.
Drummers too, bass players less so.
Yeah.
They're just kind of there,
Yeah.
Unless you're Steve DiGiorgio.
Yeah, unless you're
in Death with his fretless bass. He was my favorite. He was my favorite bass player in metal.
Yeah. I always like the bass players in like progressive or like mathcore type of stuff, though, because they would always just have really good underlying groove, but then the guitars would also let them at certain points just like be the lead too. You just have some sweet parts there. So yeah, there were some bands that did very well, but in terms of like the really heavy stuff, it's very few and far between.
I'm getting back into heavier stuff again now that I've set up my drums and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I still listen mostly from things from 2007. I feel like I still like I don't listen to a ton of new stuff, but recently, because of COVID, I feel like there's been a lot of bands that have actually put out new stuff that haven't in a very long time. So that's been pretty cool to see. I
like hearing, I'm like you, like I generally listen, like when I go back and listen to more metal, I'm usually listening to the stuff I used to listen to because I love it. And then, a lot of the stuff, just kind of getting older syndrome, right? You like what you liked, and you still like it.
Don't like
change.
And
the new stuff. Oh, those kids, they don't know what the real shit is. But I don't know, man. There's some truth to it. Like I grew up on a scene where it's like you had to be able to do it for real.
Yeah.
And I mean, studio tricks were still a thing back then, but they were frowned upon.
Oh, for sure.
They were. Studio tricks were heavily frowned upon when I was coming up. Like, it was like people like used to write in their liner notes, like these drum takes were recorded in one take, no punch-ins, and that was like a trophy people would wear, and in sound replacing, like that metal record I did from that band in northern Quebec, I got really mad, upset, disappointed, I'll say, because they sound replaced all my drums. It's like, no, don't sound. I always accepted it for the kick drum. There was some records where I still managed to pull off no triggers, but it's metal. Got to have your triggers.
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
Sure.
It's just sort of just par for the course.
Yeah.
But, and I mean, it's not as bad now because I think drum sampling tones have gotten a lot better than they used to be. But I remember when some bands would like trigger the snare back in like the late 90s or early 2000s. I'm like, what are you doing? You just sound like a drum machine, and not in a good way, like not as a compliment. Like your snare sounds like a shitty drum machine. It does not sound good. And I would prefer a shitty snare sound. So many metal bands had shitty, that Saint Anger kind of snare sound. So tune it up so high so that they could dribble the stick with their fingers and get it going really fast, right?
Yeah, no, that's it's an interesting point, because I think whenever I was playing, there was a definitely shift in technology. So then you started to see bands, like we'd been playing for a couple of years, and then you see bands that just start, and we hear their recordings, and they're like, oh yeah, these guys are sweet. And then, you go and play, like they open for you or whatever, and we're just like, oh man, like, focus more on what you're playing and ensure you're hitting that. And I don't care if you have crappier recordings, but like, kill it live. And that's how you'll start a good following and get some fans and get people out or whatever. But it's the exact opposite now for, we're going to have, top produced music that gets put out. And now it's very easy to do that, in the sense you can download preamps, you can download different guitar tones, you can do it all in your bedroom now. And so everyone has something that's, quality fairly easily. And then when they go out to play live, it's just like, it's not frustrating, but it's a bit disappointing too. Specifically, we've played with some bands that have come into town and we're like, oh, these guys are sweet. Like, we've been fans of them for a long time, and then it's just
I had a moment. I've had some moments like that for sure. I remember the first time I saw Beneath the Massacre.
Oh yes, live. We played with them. Yeah,
and like their record came out on their first EP, came out on Gailey Records, and everybody was making this big stink about them. And they're good guys and they're good players. And the guitar players,
the sweeps,
they brought it live, like just like they did on the record. And I don't know where he is now, and I'm not trying to shit on him, but it just is what it is. Their drummer, I think his name is Justin. Again, nice guy, still a talented guy, but the live performance I saw was not what's on the record. It wasn't as fast. The record was all sound replaced, so it sounded like this brute smashing his drums. And then, like, you see him play a blast beat live, and you can't even hear it. It's like, it sounds like a hummingbird farting. Like, it's just like nothing there. There's no power. You just drowned out over the guitars. And then he was doing gravity blasts. And that was bad. Like, you can't start a metal band. You can't be a metal drummer these days and not play the gravity blast. Like, it's just a staple. But back then, not a lot of people were doing it. When I was coming up and playing in Fuck the Facts, the only people I knew on the whole metal scene doing gravity blasts were John Longstreth from Origin. There was another guy in a lesser known band called Commit Suicide who was doing them. And Beneath the Massacre was then another band who came out and like, oh, he's doing the gravity blast, one-handed drum rolls. And he wasn't even really doing them live at all.
Oh, really?
He was faking them. He had a trigger. He would put a trigger on his snare, and he would just teeter-totter his stick back and forth. So if you heard it in real life, it was like snare sound, inaudible rim clack, snare sound, inaudible rim clack, creating the of the drum roll. But then through the PA, it sounded like he was doing this monstrous one-handed drum roll when really he didn't even actually know how to do it at all. At least that's what I saw and heard. If I'm wrong, man, Justin, and you're for some reason listening to my Smiths Falls-based podcast 76 minutes in, hey, call me up, tell me I'm wrong. But that's what I saw. Yeah. That's what I saw. That's what I am pretty sure I witnessed, and I was not impressed. I spent a lot of time working how to make my one-handed drum rolls louder than everybody else's. And I would, sure. I saw that. I was like, what is even happening here? Why, like, what... people used to come out because they wanted to see these good music, yes, but like we said, metal is like athletics sometimes too.
Oh, for sure. It's also about like who can push into the furthest. And I remember specifically with Beneath the Massacre, like the guitar player was just insanely fast.
Yeah.
And like he did some really sweet sweeps and stuff, and they were super heavy. But like that's all I remember from him. It wasn't like the stuff that they pulled off was very, and from a songwriting perspective, like very creative or very stood out to me. Like those are the two things I remember. You know? So,
and I mean, big deal. Like Yngwie Malmsteen could sweep him under the table. Mm-hmm. You know, he's not doing it in a death metal way, but if he wanted to, at 60 years of age, he could right now, you know, with his scalloped frets and shit, you know, wheedle. And at the end of the day, if you sweep fast enough, you know what you get? A chord. Yeah. That's what you get. I can sweep really fast. I just play a bar chord. Exactly. Play a bar chord. It's actually the fastest sweep you've ever heard. Nice. It's so fast it doesn't even sound like a sweep anymore. Yeah. It just sounds like a bar chord.
But yeah, no, I remember kids that, well, even like I was so interested. I was like, all right, well, I want to see how fast this guy plays. Like I want to see it, you know, and there's always a band, like each time we'd play, there's always something like that. It's like, oh, this guy's really fast. Or like there's a specific member that stood out in a lot of these bands, right? And it was sort of like, oh, the drummers would come see, you know, so-and-so, and the guitar players would want to come in this specific guy. So there's always something, even on the local level, the guys just get renowned in the area or whatever. So, that's always interesting to, you know, think about that way.
I wonder, there's not much local metal here, I don't think. I haven't seen too much. I've seen a little bit. I've heard of like two bands. One is this buddy of mine, Dan, is like, they're just working on like a hard rock kind of metal project. They don't have a singer yet. And then there's a band in Eden who does, you know, still, you know, not the kind of death metal we're talking about here, but like, you know, hard rock meets metal kind of stuff. I have to imagine it would do pretty well here though.
Yeah. Like as an example, like we, in Iroquois, we had at least four, maybe five metal bands in our high school of 300 kids. Mm-hmm. And so like we would just regularly just put on a show on a Friday night, and just all of us would play and get a couple hundred kids out because there's nothing else to do. And it was just, it was a blast. But that's how we started off playing. It was just like, oh, we've got nowhere else to play, so let's just put on our own shows, you know, once a month or whatever.
I never played Iroquois. I think the closest we ever got to Iroquois was, we played Cornwall.
Yeah. Did you go to Murphy's Inn?
I'm probably,
Hotel?
I don't remember. The place I'm remembering had the bar in it was like central in the room. And then there was a stage with like the front windows were behind the stage. And I think it was facing southbound. I played there with the Nads.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that guy?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. That's hilarious. He used to put on a whole bunch of shows there, specifically at this Murphy's Inn location, which was one of the sketchiest motels like possible. And
that's saying a lot for Cornwall.
Oh, yeah.
To say that one place like makes other places seem less sketchy in Cornwall.
Yeah, it was bad because you would have the people living in the motel would come over to the show while all these kids are there. Somehow there was zero parents there ever. Yeah. And like this guy, like the Nads or whatever, was putting the show on, and there'd be like 7 bands. But like I remember playing there and then just seeing people from the motel coming and just like in another dimension, like they're just, you know, so drunk or on whatever, come in and just start dancing in front of everyone. And it was just like, it was sad, but it was also just, as kids, we're just like dying laughing.
Yeah.
Like it was just hysterical.
Yeah, I never really got that guy's whole shtick. It wasn't for me. I half understood what he was going for, I think, but it was definitely not the right thing for our show. But he opened for us. He wasn't the one putting on, and in this case, he wasn't the one putting on the show.
Oh, really?
He was just there as the opener. And then the people who came out were there to see some metal, and they were Cornwall people, and they were not nice to him.
Oh, yeah.
At all. They were really not nice to him. And he acted like he enjoyed the negative attention. And I don't know whether he genuinely enjoyed the negative attention or if it was just another part of his shtick. If I were the guy, I would have played 3 songs and just gotten off the stage because he was being heckled and booed.
Oh, really?
And not even in like any kind of fun way. Like people were just like, we hate you, leave.
Jesus.
You know? And he's like, I want you to hate me. Like, I'm glad you don't like it. And like trying to play with hecklers like that, but it didn't come across in a good way. And it was really uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable to be in that room while he insisted on finishing his like 45-minute long set. When like the 5 Cornwall motel livers were just like, get out of here, you suck, we hate you, we want you to die. You know, it was brutal. I looked that guy up not that long ago. He like ran for local politics.
No,
later
did
on.
he?
Yeah, he ran for local politics. I don't know if he ever won. What was his name? Jason something?
Yes.
I don't remember his name.
You're right, it was Jason. But the reason I remember him is because he played every show there.
Yeah, he wouldn't turn down a gig.
Yeah, he
didn't have to pay that guy to play.
Yeah, but he played every show, and I remember meeting because he put on shows, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, who is this man? Like, we were so confused, like coming over there for the first time, and we had some buddies out of Cornwall. There was 2 other metal bands there, and we started to play Cornwall a lot. Like that was just, you know, a couple times a year for sure.
How far is Cornwall from Iroquois?
It's about 45 minutes.
Right.
So that was like our first, you know, our bigger shows. We're going out there, but they put on a ton of stuff out there. But yeah, I just remember the first few times he played and I was so taken aback by what it was. I don't even know how you describe it, but it was just essentially, did he not do more of like the yelling, ranting in the song? Like he was just like a continuous like
he would go there, I think. Like he played, when I saw him play, I keep wanting to say that he was playing like a little ukulele or something.
Yes,
but it wasn't a ukulele.
It was a toy guitar.
Yeah, it was like a little toy guitar from, I can't even remember if it actually had strings. Like it might have just had like buttons he pushed on it. I'm getting them all mixed up in my brain with like my child's toys that sit in a basket.
No, you're not far off.
You know, that's where this thing came from. I'm looking up a picture of it right now. Jason Ramone from the Nads. Jason Ramone, Cornwall. I really want to see if he ever had any success in his politics.
Yeah, I've got some friends from Cornwall. I'm gonna have to ask them about this guy next time I see them.
Yeah, I can't find much about him. He's always listed as Jason Ramone, but I don't think
that's his actual last name.
I thought he was just going for like a Ramones thing.
Just literally just doing what they did.
And anyway, we played Cornwall and we played some pretty crazy shows full of kids in like Winchester.
No, did you shit, I know what the band was there. There was a really good hardcore band there for a long time. Shit, and I can't remember who they were.
I don't remember who we played with either. We played 2 shows there. One was in like a smaller community center, and then the other was in like the arena.
Yeah.
And the arena show was awesome. There was like 100 kids there. It was awesome. It was a kick-ass show.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the same thing with Iroquois at the time, though. But it was like all these small towns would put on these community center shows, and a ton of kids would come out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great, but like I do not think that's, well, obviously COVID has changed things, but even the last few years, I feel like attendance has gone down in a lot of shows I've been to, at least personally in Ottawa. But I don't know. That could just be me saying that. I'm not sure.
I'm really out of touch with the Ottawa music scene. I have like some friends on like the singer-songwriter scene these days in Ottawa. Most of my musical connections tend to be in the singer-songwriter scene these days, from folk to country kind of area. But I miss Ottawa. I was expecting to spend a lot more time in Ottawa moving here, and then I spent a year kind of more getting settled in town here, and then COVID hit. I work in Ottawa sometimes, and I visit my parents in Ottawa, but I don't do a whole lot else in Ottawa. I don't think I've done an Ottawa outing
in a while
since I moved back.
I
moved back, no.
Yeah, I went out last weekend just on like Preston Street, just like Little Italy, just going to different patios and stuff. But I've got a good friend that lives off Preston Street, so it's pretty easy for me to go there, stay the night, have a good time out and have some drinks. But I work in Ottawa, so I'm there every week. But I'm not sticking around most of the time. I'm excited to go to see some football though. I'm gonna go to a couple of Red Blacks games. I'm not a huge football fan, but I just like going to there. The atmosphere is great. You always drink too much and you have a good time. That's basically what it turns out to be.
Yeah.
So
I always liked going to football when I was a kid. I'm the same. Like I never follow sports, but I like live sports. I used to go to the Lynx games.
Oh yeah.
And I used to go to the Rough Riders games.
Nice.
I played on the field at one of the Rough Riders games in my peewee football team.
Like the intermission, they bring the kids
we did a halftime show. Yeah.
Nice.
We were a horrible team, but we won that little scrimmage on the field against the best team in the league. They never let us forget it. They trounced us every other game, but we beat them when we were on the field at Lansdowne. We beat them where it mattered.
Nice.
the Bel Air Lions. Oh, they were deadly good. Anyway, any other things you're excited about?
I'm trying to think.
Just experiencing or going to?
Yeah.
Or doing or seeing?
Yeah, like I said, I've been trying to go just be outside a ton and go kayaking and explore just all the different waterways around here. That's been a big part of what I've done recently.
Have you done a boat trip yet?
No, I have not. I would like to.
Yeah.
I always see them every day, walking by that park and seeing all the massive boats. So no, haven't done that yet. I know that's something to do for sure. I want to do sort of the Perth to Smith Falls trek, which is a couple hours, but I would like to
trek?
Like the kayak trek, actually take the canal system through there.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Then you can do the same thing going to Merrickville too as well. So that's one thing I want to do before the end of the summer. Other than that, we've been, me and you have been working on some videos, which has been awesome.
Oh, yeah. We should plug that right now.
Yeah.
Go see the videos. Just go to YouTube and search Elmsley. Search Elmsley the River.
Yes. Yeah.
Elmsley the River. It's on YouTube. That's where you can check out some of Jordan's music and a sweet view. So many sweet views. Smith Falls. We got some nice shots.
Yeah,
nice shots. I helped Jordan with the video. Yeah.
Yeah, the drone worked well.
Lots of drone shots, some good shots of the what is the name of that island? What do you call it?
Turtle Island.
Okay, so I hear some people calling it Turtle Island and other people calling it Duck Island. Trying to get the bottom what the official name is.
I feel like Duck Island is just because there's always ducks on it.
But isn't Turtle Island like the indigenous name for like North America or for Canada or something?
Yeah, it does have a bigger meaning. You're right. Yeah. Because funny enough, across from Cornwall's Akwesasne, the reserve, and we used to play hockey there. And they have a massive, they have the Turtle Dome. Their rink is in the shape of a turtle. And I believe it was to do with something like you had just stated, right? There was some significance behind it. I was always told Turtle Island. I don't know where I even heard that. but I could be completely wrong.
I hear different things from different people. Yeah. I'll get to the bottom of it one day.
Yeah.
And then some good shots at Bascule Bridge and some good shots under the water tower.
Yeah, for sure. So excited to do, we'll do a couple more and then look to release an EP this fall.
Yeah, 4-song EP, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's exciting. That's, I take a very long time to write music. So I've had a couple of these songs for a bit. So I'm excited to get them done and go on from there and work on something new.
Cool. You been to the new Say 2 yet?
I've walked by a ton. I walked by it this morning.
It's nice.
Want to go check out they've got a cool little patio off to the side there too, which I haven't done
the patio yet. I'm looking forward to hanging on that patio.
Seems busy all the time I'm there, so that it looks good. Haven't gotten the chance to check it out though. There's been a few other spots that are new that I haven't even checked out. Rocky River Cafe.
Yeah, I still have to go there too. I hear they make a mean fish and chips.
Yeah, so there's that place. There's I know Jose wants to go into Willow and Co. I think it is. Yep. There's like a home decor spot.
They got nice stuff in there.
Yeah, so there's a couple other new ones that have popped up, and I'm excited to have like that whole downtown strip sort of fill up with businesses, because there's a few other empty spots that look like they're being worked on. So I think there's going to be some other stuff coming in the near future.
Yeah, there's more stuff popping up all the time. I'm keeping my eyes out, my ear to the ground.
Yeah.
Well, we plugged your music.
Yeah.
We've talked about this Paddle Fest and Rito Roundtable stuff. I think maybe we're done, buddy.
I think we're good. Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks
it's been fun. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah,
thanks for sharing your stories. Some similar stories, you and I.
Yeah,
metal scene coming into. For those of you who didn't expect to get an education on hardcore metal, you're welcome.
There you go.
You're welcome. Come talk to me and Jordan. We should start a new band.
Oh, I don't even know if I can.
That's okay.
Play where I was, but
30-second songs. That's all I'm after. These old grindcore, napalm death kind of style. That's all we got to pull off. I don't have the endurance for any more.
Yeah, only 30 seconds. Yeah. I like that. Okay, that's a good model. 24 songs album, all 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30-second songs.
That's perfect.
Yeah, awesome. Look out for that, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Bye now.
Cheers.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to episode 5 with Jordan Hawn. I had a great talk with Jordan. Wow, we talked about a lot of metal. Hopefully not too alienating for people. I don't think so. I think people find metal really, really interesting. They don't always like to listen to it, but they like to watch it. The common term I used to always heard was, wow, it's great, except for the singing or screaming or whatever you call that. Anyway, what a fun chat. What a fun chat over beers with Jordan. Jordan's got a lot going on. Look out for this guy. He is bound to be a pillar of this town. I'm convinced of it. And thank you so much once more to our sponsors, Smiths Falls Music. Get yourself signed up. Get your kids signed up. We got group classes. We got private classes over at smithsfallsmusic.com. Then you take those skills that you learned and you take them over to Bowie's for open stage. Then, once you've done a couple open stages, Pat might invite you to play a New Music Friday, right? Get your own show. Then after that, play a New Music Friday or two, might get upgraded to the monthly songwriter series, the OAT event. Private tables, listening room, can hear a pin drop. See how that works? It's a progression. It's an evolution. You start here, you work your way up. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. Until next time. I'm Matt Connell, and this has been On Smiths Falls.